Pete here from Emerald Minecart. Welcome back to another review, and today I'm reviewing the entirety of the 8-episode anime called Terminator Zero. Terminator Zero is an anime adaptation of the well-known and popular Terminator series. I happen to like the design of the Terminator, especially his battle damage design, where like half of his face is gone, revealing like his mechanical skeleton. That's obviously quite iconic, along with like the skeleton of the Terminator himself. The T-1000 is also really cool, and also the fact that I really like Arnold Schwarzenegger as well. He's pretty epic as well, so yeah. Now, because of the amount of times I'm going to be saying Terminator in this video, you know, if you want to, if you're old enough and you can legally drink, take a shot every time I say Terminator. Or maybe not, because I say Terminator, I'm probably going to say Terminator a lot in this episode, and you know, I don't want to be the reason why someone suffers from alcohol poisoning, so... But hey, you know, if you want to take a shot every time I say Terminator, then be my guest. Just, you know, if you possibly get alcohol poisoning, don't sue me, please. But yeah, anyways... Yeah, this actually doesn't take place in any of the Terminator movies, and instead takes place in Japan, where we have two main characters in this anime. We have the protagonist, who is seemingly from the past, and a protagonist who is from the future, which actually later on we discover that the protagonist from the past is actually someone who is from the future, and in the end, or not the end, but near the end of the last episode, we discovered that our protagonist of the past, who is actually from the future, is actually the child of our protagonist from the future, and somehow they were separated somewhere in the future, because obviously their protagonist of the future is surprised to learn that the protagonist of the past is actually her son, which, you know, if I was told that, I too would be surprised. But yeah. Now, one of the parts of Terminator are like the fact that the Terminators use guns and stuff. And while yes, we do see the Terminator use guns in the series, he also uses a more like stealthy and melee approach. So yeah, and also we are introduced to an AI. Yeah, we're introduced to this AI who is created to stop Skynet in episode 1, named Kokoro. Eventually, like later in some of the other episodes, she's put online, but because of this, she ends up taking over all the robots in Japan, minus the Terminator. She basically has all of Japan like held hostage. But she was also able to stop the nukes from hitting Japan. Sadly, she wasn't able to stop the nukes from hitting it anywhere else. So basically, in this anime, Japan is technically the only country that exists in this anime. Especially after the nukes hit everywhere else, which, you know, yeah, there's that. But yeah, honestly, I quite enjoyed... Yeah, I quite enjoyed the protagonist of the past and our protagonist of the future. I also like the Terminator in this series because one of the things they wanted to go with in this anime is like more of like a horror element to it. Now, I want to note it's not completely horror, but there are a decent amount of horror elements, especially since James Cameron, the original director or the creator of Terminator. Yeah, he said that he took, like, inspiration from, like, Jason Voorhees and stuff for the Terminator, especially since, technically, just like with the Predator, the Terminator can be considered horror-esque, especially since the Terminator himself, some people do describe him as, like, somewhat like Jason Voorhees, so, you know, there's that. But yeah, honestly, Terminator is a bit creepy in some of the episodes, especially like the first time where he talks, like, he has like this calm voice, but because of how it is, it's honestly kind of creepy, especially like the look that he has, specifically like the look in his eyes. But yeah. Eventually, in episode 8, the Terminator gets taken down, and I will say, like, the way he gets taken down is honestly quite brutal. Like, he's basically, like, trampled and ripped apart by the robots that Kokoro is controlling. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, there is a very, very far difference between a human being ripped apart and a robot being ripped apart. Like, obviously, seeing a person be ripped apart, yeah, that's horrifying. But when you see a robot be ripped apart, it's like, it's not really that horrifying, especially since, you know, there's, like, certain things that a robot doesn't have, like, feeling pain, or blood, or organs, or screaming. But yeah, but the way they depict the Terminator being torn apart in this episode, in this last episode, was honestly very brutal, and honestly quite liked it. But yeah, the series ends with like somewhat of a cliffhanger where our remaining protagonists go underground to live underground while Kokoro protects Japan from another nuclear attack by Skynet. And yeah, that's how the series ends. It's kind of it's not the happiest ending, but hey, not everything has to have a happy ending. But hey, you know, if there's ever like a season 2 to this series, then I will be reviewing season 2. Which, you know, if there is a season 2, hopefully that means we might get to see the T-1000, because that'd be really cool. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, this anime was pretty good. I give it 7 out of 7 stars, meaning this anime gets an Emerald Seal of Approval. So yeah, that was it for this review. If you watch the Terminator anime, please tell me what you think about it in the comment section below, because again, I generally love to hear what all of you think. So anyways, that was it for this video. Make sure you all subscribe and like for more, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye!